Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And right now, we're losing. First and foremost, if you clicked on the channel, please like and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, if you go to the Hood Champion Boxing homepage on YouTube, there are several little icons in the banner. Just click on there and you can donate if you like to. That being said, Bob Marley went on to mention that money is numbers and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. And what we're seeing is two men who can really help each other out, but because of whatever reasons, and I'm going to say because of financial reasons, they can't come to an agreement, and as a result, you're seeing the fallout of what should have remained behind closed doors, and the fallout is ugly. And it's two men that are tearing each other down, and it really bothers me that they're doing it. Now, I'm going to create content about the back and forth between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and I'm going to make videos about these guys and give my opinion on a lot of things. I'll share some factual stuff, but then a lot of it too is just my opinion, and I think that's what makes the conversation interesting. We all have opinions, and we have things we'd like to add to the conversation. But when you look at this, these two guys are in a position where they can really help each other be great and really change their lives financially. What I call it is like a crab in a barrel mentality. And is it ever going to end? And what I mean by that, you get one guy kind of moving up to the top, look like he's about to make it out, and the other guy wants to push him back down. And then that guy who got pushed down finds a way, look like he's about to, get his way up to the top and out that barrel. And then the other person who was there, who fell off, is now at the bottom and reaches up and pulls that person back down. And the whole time, if you look on the side, you may see some of these other crabs who are in the barrel, but they figure things out. And the one guy gets to the top, and he reaches down and pulls the other one up. Then he reaches down and gets the other one out. And next thing you know, the other crabs who happen to have a different mentality on how they see each other, they work together and go on to win. And then you got these two fools who, instead of coming together to go on and win, they rather keep breaking each other down, putting each other's personal business out there in the world, using all kind of inappropriate language on Twitter. There's a lot of young men and women who probably look up to these two guys. And these guys don't think about that. All they're thinking about is their pockets, their money, why they aren't getting what they feel they deserve, why someone's not being transparent with me, but I'm not going to be transparent to them. Well, I'm not going to be transparent to that guy either because I'm the big fish. I shouldn't have to tell you anything. I deserve the lion's share, which is true. But if they were working together, there's a conversation that can be had. And I understand some of these guys, Errol Spence has a team, Crawford seems like he's a one-man show right now. According to him, he's his own boss, according to him. But at some point in time, get away from all the toxic people. And y'all two sit down and talk without insulting each other, without attacking each other. Because when you look at it, right? We still don't know where the hell this money came from as far as Terence Crawford. I really think Warren Buffett or someone up there may have decided to try to, help out to make the fight. But then again, got to be some concerns with him and coming across $50 million where he's not disclosing where it came from, and the fact that he was being advised by Kinahan, and Kinahan's still over in the UAE, and Bob Arum couldn't get Terence Crawford $25 million. All of a sudden, Terence Crawford figures it out. So it could be something that's absolutely innocent, but then again, at the same time, it's fair to have the conversation and concerns about where the hell that money came from. And Errol Spence has every right to feel like, you know what? Man, all that sounds good, but I'm going to leave that alone because you really haven't explained to me how you were able to make that happen, and everyone else around here is struggling to come up with $50 million for the two of us. because there's T's to be dotted, T's to be crossed, I's to be dotted. You know, there's a calendar budget. There's a fiscal year budget. You know, and each month those budgets are being refined. You know, and then depending on how that year goes and the performance and the money spent, then before the end of the calendar year, fiscal year, whatever little money is left in the pot, they're looking to expend that. And at the same time, that's going to help them project for the forthcoming year and years. I'm sure they do like a 3 to 5 year projection. But if the money isn't there to give a guarantee, especially because at the time of the year, the end of the year, big ass Jake Paul fight, where Jake Paul got paid though. Deontay Wilder, he made some money. He didn't make as much as they were hoping he would make because they were counting on pay-per-view sales, and that didn't do so well. But at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder got paid some dough, and so did Helenius. And then you sit here and you're trying to sort things out for a Spence Crawford fight. So the timing is just bad. And for those of you out there who are saying, nah, they should have still made the fight, I think if these two wouldn't have had the crab in the barrel mentality, we could have got that fight earlier in the year. We could have got it November when they first started talking about it. But I just don't like hearing, you know, Crawford saying Errol Spence, you know, things out there with his daughter, birthday, he wasn't responding to him. Al Heyman, you know, the mother was sick. Getting on there using the N-word and acting crazy on Twitter. You know, it's cool to see them going back and forth, and because it seemed to me like we made a little bit of progress. By the fact that they were openly venting to each other, it's just sad that the whole world got to see it. But, you know, it gives a lot of people an opportunity to see to get a peek behind the tent flaps and say, you know what, I either agree with them or I don't. And for me, I understand what both of them are saying. I really do. But I don't like it. You know, you figure these two can come together and sit here and say, all right, we both are in great positions. But let's sort of the percentage split. Okay, supposedly Crawford agreed to what he calls a deal where he was getting screwed. But why does he have to feel like he's in a deal getting screwed? Now, I will say this, and I've said this in multiple videos. A lot of people don't agree with me. Look, if you're applying for a job, right, certifications matter. It doesn't matter if you're going up for a job and you have 20 years worth of experience. That's going to catch somebody's attention. Okay, there's a lot of tacit experience here, hands-on. This other person who maybe has a couple years of experience or none at all, but they have all these certifications in that job. Let me tell you, those certifications matter. So they have the explicit experience. And when you have somebody with those kind of certifications, that says that they've done the work to earn those credentials, and they're bringing something to the table that maybe this person who can get in here and perform the job more as on a worker level, but maybe they can't come and manage and lead to where we need somebody who has been educated and has the explicit experience. And when at the end of the day, certifications matter, and the guy with the certifications they both may get a job, but the guy with the certification will probably make more money. And when you look at belts in boxing, Errol Spence has more belts, more certifications. Terence Crawford has a certification. He has a belt. He has a lot of experience. He had a bunch of belts at 140. We get it. But we're not looking at what you did 4 or 5 years ago, champ. We're looking right now for this current employment opportunity and how we're going to pay you right now. That matters. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, I always said, based on those certifications, those belts, should be a 70-30 split. But to be fair, make it 60-40. Now, and to just get the deal done. But from what I'm understanding, somebody said there's so much crap being spewed around, like a 65-35 deal. And that's not, that ain't really bad, but I can understand Crawford feeling like, you know what, this is horrible. But at the end of the day, if little Devin Haney can go over there to Europe, to Australia, and fight Kambosos and get screwed. The first fight, second fight, he got paid some dough. But Kambosos made a whole lot of money in that second fight too. If Devin Haney can do it, then Terence Crawford should be able to do it too. That's all I'm saying, okay? But I just don't see why they just couldn't come together and be like, look, let's break this bread. Let's sort things out. Do a rematch and try to make it as fair as possible to where they're both comfortable as possible. But this is what happens. It's not just pride that gets involved. It's not just ego that gets involved. You know, it's not just their teams getting involved and people on the sideline who play the position when they should be playing that position ass back. You know, that's the guy sitting on the bench. When he gets up and like, hey, coach, let me in. You're like, man, get your ass back on the bench. That's the position their people should be playing. They should be playing ass back. And it should be Spence and Crawford sitting there sorting things out, making that fight happen. But that's just not how it happened, man. Everybody's gonna get involved and messing this up for these guys. Millions of dollars these guys could be making. Fair rematch clause, you know. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond friends. It goes beyond the key decision makers. It goes back to a mentality that these guys have been developing since they were kids. And it plagues a lot of people where they do this to each other. And times like what we're living in right now, man, I would rather see them coming together and help each other out. You know who's a good example of this? And this person, man, you may not agree with him or not as far as, you know, him as a boxer, but Deontay Wilder. You see when he got in that ring with Ortiz, those first two fights, he didn't have to fight Ortiz. He did that out of the goodness of his heart and trying to help a fellow, whatever you want to term it, right? He wanted to help him. And then he saw the situation, I'll say help a fellow father. Situation with his daughter, he identified with him. He said, it don't make sense to sit here and not help this man. Helped him out. He beat him the first time, helped him out, beat him the second time. Put about $10 million in Luis Ortiz's bank account. Luis Ortiz never had to worry about his daughter again. Then he goes out here with Helenius. A lot of people were saying, man, how did they select Helenius? I'm telling you, he selected Helenius because Helenius came out there. Helenius has been in a lot of a sparring partner for a lot of people in their camps. But Helenius put a lot of time and effort into Deontay Wilder there in Alabama. And I'm sure Deontay Wilder, when you heard his story about how long he's been boxing, his stellar amateur career, and how he's never had an opportunity, a big opportunity for a really big fight. And Deontay Wilder gave it to him. Deontay Wilder, let me tell you, Deontay Wilder gave him that fight because Deontay Wilder cared about the man. And Deontay Wilder knows what it is to be altruistic. Even listen to Adrian Broner. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree with Adrian Broner, but Adrian Broner said something that I thought was spot on. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, you know, I've done this. I've been in positions where I could affect change. I've had people underneath me where maybe they wouldn't be given a certain opportunity for whatever reason, okay? And I saw that and I didn't like it because, you know, I've had my own share of experiences where if your effort is greater, your reward should be greater, right? If your effort is greater, your reward should be greater. But sometimes that's not how it works out. It's not always fair. So whenever I had an opportunity to affect change, I made sure that person's effort was greater, that I made sure that their reward was greater as well than everyone else's. So I tried to get it right when I had the opportunity. But at the same time, you gotta put the work in. You know, you gotta earn it. I'm not just gonna give it to you. But in a situation, and then I've been in positions where it was me and someone else kind of competing for the same thing, and we just sit back and talk. Particularly talking about things that help you get a promotion. And there'd be 4 opportunities throughout the year. And there's a couple of guys and myself, at different points in time, we were pretty much top-notch guys, right? And we sat down and talked and said, all right, look, let's kind of rotate this. I go this first quarter, you go to second quarter, I go to third quarter, you go to fourth quarter. Everything work out, we both get 2 big wins for the year. And then when that goes into our records, boom, we can get a good look when it comes time for promotion, right? but we put the work in. We talked about what we were doing, talked about things people were doing to be competitive, and looked at what people were doing outside of our organization to see what can make us more competitive and promotable. And it worked out. We went all the way. Okay, no, couldn't go any higher. Okay, but that's when you break lock with the crab in the barrel mentality, and you say, let's start helping each other. Let's start uplifting each other. Let's work together. It's enough for everybody to go around. Okay, so I would have really liked to see these two sit back, work it out, and then when they came to the forefront and the media got involved and all the social media platforms, they had an announcement and everything was agreed to, and they were being amicable with each other, and everything was spot on. But that's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is a shit show. And no one's laughing with them, they're laughing at them. No one has anything really positive to say. And that's because they've created that. And it's so sad to see these guys who are really it's not just that they're the two top at 147, really two of the top guys in boxing. And to see them on social media ranting and raving with the language they're using and just being, clowns, and all over money. All over money. Well, what about the back end, man? What about the back end? Oh, take this 25 million. Why you can't take this 25? What you scared of? You afraid of me? They both have valid points. 25 million is the most we ever made. Let's really sit back and try to sort this out. Let's really think about this pay-per-view stuff. I'm willing to roll the dice on myself. I know what I bring to the table, but there's a lot of foul stuff that goes on. Millions and millions of illegal streams. We guarantee this money right here. Let's do a cost-benefit analysis. You know what I'm saying? Let's weigh this. Let's kind of weigh this out. Let's take a look at it. But then you got the other guy. He talking about the back end. Okay, well, let's lay it all out on paper. Taking a guaranteed 25 million, no back end, nothing. That's our cap. We get a guaranteed 25 flat fee. That's it. Now let's look at your side. What's the guarantee we can get just out the gate? What can we each get? With me taking 65, you taking 65%, me taking 35. They ain't even had that conversation. But that's what should have happened. Look, this is what it is. 65, you get 35. This is what the numbers look like. Now, if we go conservatively, pay-per-view, maybe we can sell conservatively, let's say 300,000. I think that's a safe number, 250 to 300,000. All right? That's a safe number. At the price point of $75 per pay-per-view, that gives us, a little bit of money there. Then you say we break that out and we go 50-50 on it because you gave Yugas and everybody else 50-50. So let's look at the split on that. The guarantee you can take more, but everything else is split that down the middle. But they couldn't even sit there, man, and have that conversation. And if they would have been able to do that without insulting each other, without having the pride, without having the ego, without having to look in what's somebody else's pocket, man, we would have had a fight. But that's not what we got. What we got here is a damn circus. And the two clowns leading the circus are the two best 147-pounders in the world right now. Yo, look, Bob Marley said money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. These two dudes are fighting over money, and neither one of them are happy right now. Yeah, Crawford's going on to make $10 million, but who knows what's going to happen with this BLK Prime stuff. Maybe I'll do a video on that. There's a few videos floating around, man. I ain't trying to go out here and copycat everybody. That's not my style. But when you look at this BLK Prime, it almost sounds like a Don King operation. I said that in another video. Just the mystery briefcase, like Eddie Hearn going up to fighters with 500,000, trying to take him away from, Floyd Mayweather. Y'all didn't know about that? I did a video on it. Go look it up. Crazy shit happens in boxing. It's just real ridiculous right now. But, hey, anyway, man, we got Crawford getting busy with Evanescence. We got Spence, like he's going to be fighting Thurman. So hopefully that they'll finally, get that, start doing the press conferences so we can at least be happy. That's a good fight. And we can be excited about Spence's fight. And then, hopefully these two will get it on. It's kind of like the whole thing with Fury and Usyk, Fury and AJ, and Wilder and AJ back in the day. It's like boxing fans should be pissed. It's frustrating. But, then you got guys like Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Learn from them. Learn from Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Somehow, them two guys hated each other. Now, for you guys are saying, what is Caleb Plant, man? And Benavidez, man, you didn't see that video where Caleb Plant was there in the gym and the Benavidez, the older Benavidez, the one with the big ass ears, came in there, man. They jumped, Caleb Plant slapped somebody, and then they jumped his trainer or nutritionist or somebody, man. I never thought they would have fought. Honestly, I said, he's never going to fight Benavidez. Too much bad blood. Then they go and make the fight like that. You guys need to learn from that, man. Stop looking at what someone else is doing, trying to hold them down. Elevate each other. Because if these two fight, they're going to elevate each other and make each other bigger than they were. And then the rematch could be something else. It's like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Those guys, say what you want about Wilder, about Fury, allegations, delusional, costume, whatever you want to say. Those fights, man, did something special for both of those fighters. And I think if Crawford and Spence can sort things out, their fight will do something special for them as well. That being said, y'all keep cool. Donate if you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate the support. Subscribe. Shout out to all 7 continents. Shout out to all the veterans. Y'all keep cool. Appreciate the support. As always, in the breeze.